All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. You know how we usually spend our time digging into some pretty heavy stuff,
Oh, yeah.
like those research papers and market reports and all that?
Right, right.
Well, this time we're switching gears.
Oh,
We're going to be talking about something a little more fun.
okay. I like fun.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one.
All right.
So we are going to Orbit City
Orbit City.
with the Jetsons.
Okay.
Remember the Jetsons?
Yeah. Flying cars.
Flying cars,
Yeah.
robot maids,
Robot maids. Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Push a button.
Push a button, meals are ready.
Exactly.
So we're not just taking a nostalgia trip here, though.
Oh, okay.
We're really looking at whether this classic cartoon
Yeah.
actually had some pretty good predictions about the future.
Interesting.
And, especially for our listeners who are always,
On the cutting edge.
on
Yeah.
the cutting edge thinking about what's next.
What's coming next?
Yeah.
What's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's kind of fascinating how a show like The Jetsons, which most people, kind of write off as just pure entertainment, can actually be a really interesting window into how people thought about technology way back when.
Yeah.
When the show was created in the early 1960s.
Right.
I mean, that was the era of the space race.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much optimism and excitement
Very much optimism.
about the future and technology.
Yeah,
It really comes through in the show.
it does. And it makes you wonder if the Jetsons wasn't just, a silly cartoon,
Yeah.
but maybe a little bit of a roadmap,
Uh-huh.
of what was to come.
A roadmap to the future.
Yeah, and the source material we're looking at today
Mm-hmm.
actually makes that claim.
Oh, wow.
And I have to admit, I'm intrigued.
I'm kind of curious about that, too.
Yeah, think about those flying cars.
Oh, yeah, the flying cars.
George Jetson just cruising high above all the traffic.
Yeah, no traffic.
Is that something that we're actually getting closer to?
Well, I don't think you'll be trading in your car for a flying one just yet.
Okay.
But the technology is definitely starting to take shape.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are companies out there working on what they call eVTOL aircraft,
CVT call.
which stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing.
Okay.
So basically, picture a helicopter,
Okay.
but much quieter and more efficient because it's powered by electricity.
Interesting.
It's not quite the same as those sleek Jetsons cars,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a step in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about how drones are becoming more and more advanced,
Mm-hmm.
and we're already starting to see self-driving cars on the road.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It does feel like the pieces might be falling into place.
The pieces are there for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what else I found really interesting when I was reading up on the Jetsons?
What is that?
They specifically mentioned the ages of two characters,
Oh, really?
Javon Koo and Cosmo Spacely.
Okay.
Both of them have these important jobs in these big futuristic companies. But what's fascinating is they were born in 1991 and 1995.
Oh, wow.
They're millennials,
They're millennial.
just like many of our listeners.
That's so interesting.
I think that was a really deliberate choice by the creators.
I mean, why do you think they chose to highlight their birth years like that?
Well, I think it's kind of a subtle way of pointing out that younger generations are more likely to embrace these really futuristic ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You grew up with technology changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
The internet, smartphones, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of flying cars or robots probably doesn't seem that crazy to you.
It doesn't seem that far-fetched.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's like the Jetsons was a reflection of one generation's dreams. And now those dreams are being carried forward by another generation.
I like that.
It really makes you wonder, are we living in someone else's vision of the future right now?
That's a great question, and it kind of leads to another question. How accurate was the Jetsons in its predictions?
Right.
What can we learn from what they got right?
And what they got wrong.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that question.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely nailed video calls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we use those all the time now.
All the time.
And smart homes.
Yeah.
With all the automated appliances and voice control.
Mhm.
That's becoming more and more common.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the whole idea of automation in the workplace.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Definitely some spot-on predictions there. But it's interesting. They didn't really see the internet coming.
Really.
They imagined these big, clunky computers everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but not this interconnected world that we have now.
Right, with our smartphone.
So our smartphones, our laptops.
With everything, yeah.
Exactly. It's almost ironic. They got the flashy tech right, but missed the foundation that makes so much of it possible.
It's like they got the icing, but not the cake.
Exactly. But that's what I think makes this whole exercise so fascinating. By looking at how past visions of the future played out,
Yeah.
we can start to think critically at the trends that we're seeing today.
So it's like looking back to see forward.
Exactly. What are the shows, the movies, the books saying about our hopes and fears right now?
Right.
What technologies are they focusing on?
Yeah.
It's like holding up a mirror to our own society.
It's like the Jetsons is a distorted funhouse mirror.
Yeah.
Like a bit warped and exaggerated.
A little bit, yeah.
But maybe there's a glimmer of truth in there somewhere.
I think so. And that's where you, our listener, come in.
Oh.
What do you notice about how the future is being portrayed in pop culture today?
Yeah?
What resonates with you? What seems totally off base? I think those observations can give you a real edge when it comes to spotting trends and opportunities.
So to leave everyone with something to think about, the Jetsons had a very optimistic view of technology.
It did.
Looking back, do you think that's ultimately beneficial? Or does it kind of blind us to some of the potential downsides?
Interesting.
It's something to think about as we continue to shape the world of tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely something to ponder.
All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.